right now, Val. I think you should be called the Parfessor, because all this young man does is rack up par.
Parfessor. I love that, actually.
You are? Oh, he's the Parfessor. He's the Parfessor. Let's go.
And if you're looking for collaborations, try and reach out.
We're not reaching out to anyone unless you're in the area of Asbury Park, New Jersey. We're looking at the top 8 courses that I've played, and now I'm ranking them. Starting off at number 8, the worst.
Get a good feel for it. On Google, it's rated a 2.6 out of 5, and ranked one of the worst golf courses in New Jersey.
This course is a true replica of what a golf course would look like 1 to 2 years after the zombie apocalypse.
This place is hot garbage. $70 for...
I saw a baby fox run into a hole near the bunker. That was the highlight of my outing. The course was in horrible condition to find your ball.
Gotta be one of the worst golf courses I've ever played.
Oh, it looks very nice. You can't drive through here.
Well, but not much of a tee box.
A car going right through your backswing. You got water up here. Here on the second hole, creating a room tee box. There's also parts that say there's no fairways. How would you rate this course, though? You playing it? Okay. Not really much of a bunker here. Hopefully they're not electrical wires. Interesting. Alright. Almost impossible to find a golf ball in this thick. Oh, there it is. The golf designer Tittinglass built 265 golf courses when he died, I think, in the 1940s. He's from Philadelphia, and he's one of the best golf designers, probably arguably in the world. He's gotten to the World Championship, was the World Hall of Fame for golfing. Is that your ball? Is this you? Is this yours? That's my poor shot. You know, you might have to walk it. If you did walk it, this is the cart path again. I don't want to say it's rough, but this is pretty bad. Is this the worst golf course in New Jersey? I've done a lot of them, and this one's pretty bad. Nice, right? This is not nice. You got a little bit of trash. I saw some beer cans actually on the course. Just like the rating, the course really starts to fall apart on the number 18. Is it the worst course in New Jersey? If they cut the grass, it won't be. It's got a lot of history, and you've got to play a factor in the overall rating when it comes to this much history at a course like this. And it's nice, but it sucks. This course is horrible. It's been $80 on this course. You got ripped off. $40 to walk it. 35. That's fair. There's just a lot of nature coming through this golf course, as you can see. You don't expect this.
And unfortunately, all jokes aside, there could be the sale of this golf course, which we've seen with Mays Landing and other courses I've played. And for the most part, we're getting out there, we're running around, keeping an eye on the ball. That's why we got to run. And this video is not going to lie. There haven't been much upkeep in regards to the actual course. Now into Google reviews, they're answering everything. They're responding to these negative comments, and a 2.6 is insanely bad, I believe. You know, when you compare it to other golf courses with the $40 to $60 range, they're still sitting in the 3s all day. And there's the data. You know, we have the data. We're going to walk through this course, talk about how one of the oldest golf courses could be shut down for senior living, and what you guys think about that right into the comment section below. This is real stuff. We're going to talk about the golf course. Hopefully, maybe videos like this can get more people to want to play the course, or at least put attention into the course before eventually it does get shut down, because that's what's going to happen. This course is one way trip to being shut down here, and we're just running around, keeping a look on each one of the golf balls hit, because you're going to lose everyone here. If you come out here and you think you're going to have a good time, be prepared to break barely 90, because the course is pretty challenging when it's that rough. Now it's still open, which is good to hear. Now moving us into number 7, a TikTok famous golf course for its fights on the course. That is Bel-Aire Golf Course.
You know, kind of calling a spade here. There's not much to it. It's par 4s, and most of them are par 3s, 240, 250. Gotta be careful out here. Some people are hitting up on you. But at Belair Golf Club, having the time of our lives here. Subscribe below.
The course is located in Wall Township. Now I will note that it is a municipal course, being part of the Monmouth County Park Services. Now, they take things very seriously here. It's like checking into the Pentagon. I'm sure if you play this, you're probably rolling your eyes and saying, yep, they do take pretty serious here for a course that's not that great. Now, we're going to walk through each one of the holes. They got 27 holes total. We kind of did something interesting here. We kind of jumped around and even changed holes because it was so backed up. There's no rules once you pass the starters. I think they got to check off something on their list, and then you can do whatever you want. It felt like there's people cutting in front of you. There's people hitting up on you. The true Jersey golf course here. We're going to walk through the stats of it, give you a little bit of history of the course, talk about what I think of it, and give you a rating from 1 to 10. Just like all our other videos, and we're into the 100s now, so we've done a lot. When pulling up the scorecard, I was kind of shocked to realize that the course felt short, but it really is short. It's only 3,201 yards. That's pretty short for an 18-hole golf course. Now, the par is only a 60, with majority of the holes being par 3s. There's a few par 4s. Now, on the front 9, there's 3, and then on the back 9, there's 3. And that's it. So, all in all, most of the longest holes, about 285 yards, 303, one breaks 3. So you're getting your money's worth depending on pace of play here, time of play. And some of the holes like this one right here are the nicest holes on the course. And I think if you just play this one 18 times, you'd be pretty happy with the price tag here. And that's because at the highest level here, it's $34 to play weekend and holiday rates to prime time. Now it does drop down a little bit, only a few dollars, to $22. If you got a resident adult pass and some other discounts to drop it down. I will say, if you're local, this is going to be a fun golf course that you're going to get out and play all the time. Now, is it worth driving out there? Absolutely not. It's kind of a sloppy golf course. Being a municipal course, I think it still has, and I say sloppy in a sense as you come into the fairways. It's just not as tight as it should be. And then the fairways I thought were in good shape. There's nothing to say. The greens were okay. They get a lot of play. Course is tight. Some of the holes are 250, so you want to hit driver, but you're going to kill someone out there, and that's what we almost had. And yet, there's some altercations sometimes on these golf courses where you shouldn't be playing up, and you have to let the people behind you know if that's the case. And that was the case here. And lucky for us, we were with a good group that didn't really want to start any trouble towards the end. It's a hot day. We just want to get out of there, but we don't want to get hit up on. And that's the type of course that you're going to find out here. That if it's busy, you're not going to have that enjoyable time. That doesn't take away from the golf course. It's still a good course. One of the nice things about this course being, built in 1964, it's got a little play to it. It's got a little history to it. Being built by golf architect Mort Hansen. This course is open year-round, even in the rain, because it's one of those municipal courses that kind of get a little greedy when they should be open and when they shouldn't be open. That's what we do here. Now, they might push the boundaries a little bit here. I will say that from what I heard. For those interested, the slope of this golf course from the back tees is an 89. Now, if you want to look at the rating, it's a 57.6 from those back tees. I'm not going to go through each one of the 3 tee boxes, but I will say, you know what? For $25, depending on the time rate, the twilight rate is significantly cheaper. I think in the 20s. I'm not going to pull it up, but it's for $30-something. What do you expect for a golf course? That's a pretty good rate. You don't want to get out here and at least check this one off your list if you're in the area and you're just trying to sneak in a quick 9 holes. That's what I recommend. Also, if you're a new-time golfer, take a look at that place. But also the history behind number 6, which is only a 9-hole course, deserves to be on this list. The course was built in 1924. Looking at some of the original clubhouses behind us. It's also the only course where the Harlem Globetrotters were allowed to play. Golf Advisory has considered this a top 25 short course, naming it 25th. You can see right up here. And the history behind this course, well, it used to be an old farm. And the old farmhouse used to sit right here with a warning shot. I ain't chance again. The course does have an independent driving range that's free and a chipping area that you can go out and get here about 30 minutes in advance. That's my recommendation. Take advantage of the driving range. They're kind of leaning right now. But
this is one of those county courses that we're going to take a look at within the Ocean Township area. The course used to be called Colonial Terrace, and it had a name change to the one we're seeing today. So let's take a look here at William F. Larkin Golf Course. That's the name of the golf course, and it's currently owned and operated by the township. The course was designed by Celo Gonzalez, who was then handed it to his daughter Connie Gonzalez, who you probably heard from because she's the one that gave it to the 3 daughters that currently are around the area. They own an acre of land not too far from here. There used to be a nightclub not too far in walking distance called the Patio, where mobsters and celebrities used to come and hang out, and then the golf course is right there. And famous individuals like Jackie Gleason actually played this course in the 20s and 30s. Really start to dip down prior to hitting the green. It's a challenging 1920s feel. It's currently owned by the Ocean Township Human Resources. And using the Green Acres funding, the township purchased this land May 2008 and finished the whole 50 acres. Now the 50 acres was actually 34 acres owned by the township before the sale of this golf course. Now, the owners, Garcias, they wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for the Ocean County residents to have a place to play golf. And we'll take a look at the wildlife here at this course.
Happy to get over to the Jersey Shore just outside of Asbury Park. There's a great course here. This is the foundation of the old house that used to sit on the farm there. They turned into an odd putting green. We're going to call it as it is. That's no good. Everything else about this course is a great foundation of historical golf that still maintains to this day. Overall, I would have liked to see a little bit more of the history behind the golf course highlighted in the pro shop,
and
also
here.
just the people working there. They weren't very aware of the history. They knew it was an old course. They knew they had about 100 years, but they didn't understand the designer of the course, who originally designed it, and maybe that just got lost in history. Or Carlos was the one designing it. We might never know, but on this channel, we're going to hope that there's some good comments down in the comment section below. This course, the biggest takeaway, if you're trying to play it in the winter time, it will be closed. It closed right during that winter time months. But in the summertime, get out here and enjoy this course because you can get. That's what it's all about. Golf is about enjoying yourself and in the environment around. Moving us now into number 5. We got another course that's a full 18 holes here. And
because you got rangers swinging all through the golf course. You're at Spring Meadows, about 180 yards from the back tees here. And tell you what, for the price of $40 to walk the golf course, you're really going to get a good deal.
In our other golf vlogs, we're going to go through each one of the holes, compare it to other golf ratings, and talk about the history, what I think about the golf course when it's not as important, and also show you as much footage as we can, the inside, and also some special deals and how much we paid for the cheapest round.
First part of this golf course was built in 1920. I'm assuming it's the front nine. We're going to do a little bit more history in regards to that, but then we had to finish off the golf course in the 1940s. So all 18 holes were done in the 1940s, but so far you got has that feel to a little ranger swinging through the course. I like that. Yeah, it's always got one of those old feels to it. I can't beat this.
So we'll show you the putting surfaces that are offered. There's a driving range where you can get a couple balls, a couple swings in, and we'll go off number 1 here. And I tell you what, this course is designed for the second shot. So really, you got to hit that 150 mark. That was something the starter mentioned to us in the beginning of our round. You can see twists and turns on some of these holes after your second shot, which could be a really fun time or a very frustrating event. Go through the grass and talk about the bent grass that they use here for their putting surfaces and their greens. Much like our multiple other golf reviews, we're going to give you an honest opinion of that golf course. Talk about those little subtle hints that separate great golf courses to just good public golf. And on this course, I tell you what, it felt like a gem among golf courses in that area. Just north of it is Colts Neck, where there's a ton of golf, and just around the area is a bunch of municipal courses. But here at Spring Meadows, you find yourself at an enjoyable round for a quick period of time. We moved within 4 hours, which is important at some of these golf courses, to talk about how long it takes and get through it. And this one was no different, feeling like a completely different experience playing golf, because number 6 drops you right off here at the clubhouse. It almost feels like you're done 9, so you're kind of set back to feel like you're going faster.
Rangers all over the place. I've never seen a golf course with the Rangers just swinging all over the place. All right. Nice shot.
Really hats off to the staff there at Spring Meadows. We talked to I think the pro. He gave me a historical background of the golf course because it was built, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but you know, in the 1920s, 1928, it was first constructed, at least the first 9 holes, and then the remaining 18 holes was finished in the 1940s. However, that's not the first front or the second front. The tees kind of go all over the place, and the head pro there wasn't too sure. He knew that number 7 was that final hole that goes back to the clubhouse, was number 9 on the original layouts. He also mentioned that number 1 was a completely different hole, so there's been a lot of changes. The rates here at the golf course are as low as they get, and they're fair and reasonable. However, if you want to decide to take a cart, you're going to pay the ultimate price. There's water fountains throughout the course, so we recommend walking it. However, if you do take a cart, it's going to be $35, which is almost the equivalent of the golf round at $40 on the weekend to walk the course. It was well worth it. Find yourself a beverage here. On number 9, it's got like a little clubhouse that has to be mentioned as one of the most essential golf clubhouses on this golf course. It completely feels like a lost period of time. But then there's some takeaways. Some of the tee boxes, as you can see right there, were not the greatest and glitched into the game. Now, the next course kind of stretches us over to Colts Neck, but taking a look, it's only 22 to 25 minutes. And that's even with a little bit of shore traffic. So let's swing on in to Colts Neck Golf Club, a course that's got great conditions.
Got a nice course here at Colts Neck, located in central New Jersey. We're playing an absolute country club type gem of public golf. Great shot. The course only stretches 6,200 yards from the back tees. Neck is located about an hour to an hour and a half outside of New York City. And that might be the reason why there's so many great golf courses in this area. We're at a public golf course again, trying to sneak onto some private golf courses for the most part.
Here at Colts Neck, that might be as good as it gets. This golf club plays extremely, almost like a country club's type feeling. We have our theories, we're going to walk through that later on in the video, but most importantly, we're going to be consistent with all the golf vlogs that we've been doing. It's not a golf channel about, you know, what we're doing here, just me, Professor. It's more about the golf course. That's what we're here about. And we're going to show the in and outs. We're going to show the good parts, just like the walk-in. We're going to show you, you know, the interesting part. And most importantly, we're going to have fun along the way. This is just a golf vlog review, trying to give a 1 to 10 at the end of the video, but provide educational content just like this, letting you know that the driving range is on the other side of the road. This could be a little bit confusing. This course is poorly mapped.
Colts Neck on number 1.
Kind of prepare yourself for that ahead of time. Bring a scorecard, kind of have an idea. The nice part is
2 different types of sand. We got the fairway sand here, and then the green sand on the other side.
And we're going to hit all those types of sands, which are bent grass greens and bent grass fairways here at Colts Neck Golf Club. We're trying to talk about the golf course, learn about it, And we're going to talk about the history of this course, which was built in, again, 2000, not too old. It was about a team of golf architects. We're going to dive in harder at the end on that one. And of course, it doesn't have that historical feel like some of the other courses we've been playing in the New Jersey area that were built in the 1920s and 1800s, late 1800s. But this course, I think, could be one of the better courses I played since running deer on the channel. Hopefully we'll get out and play some private ones. If you know anyone, just run around and over and write a comment down below. We got some sneaky courses maybe coming up in the future, but right now we're going to walk through here at Colts Neck, an incredible golf gem. If you've played it, if you're in the area, you're going to spend $115, $125 to play this course on the weekend, prime rates, and it's justifiable because the course is extremely well conditioned.
Golf courses in the area. There's a lot of country clubs here out in Colts Neck. Due Process, just to name one. I think Pebble Creek is another one. It's a public, but we're gonna try to get on there soon. Hopefully we'll play more here in the Colts Neck area. And I think it's 90 after 2 o'clock. Course can go up to $125 to play. I think it could be worth it. The course is in incredible shape. I feel like with these type of courses, when you have a pocket of incredible golf around you, you have superintendents that are knowledge sharing, and you're just going to get better golf courses in the public area. Plus, they're trying to take care of it, and they don't want to play at their course they're working at. And I think that's what we're seeing here. You know where we're going?
I have no idea. I'm following you.
It's poorly marked. I don't know. I'm at a crossroads here.
When it comes to the rating of this golf course, on Google, it is a 3.7 out of 173 golf reviews. And then when you look at Golf Now, you're sneaking around a 3.8, and Golf Pass at a 3.8, both roughly over 700 reviews, so that's pretty consistent. I think it's because of the golf courses in the area might reduce it, but either way, I think this is a great golf course. This should be over a 4 on most online golf outlets. Course was built on a old farm and designed by a total of 3 golf architects: Jeffries Cornrish, Brian Salvin, and Mark. It's a par 72 that stretches just over 6,000 yards at 6,236 yards. This par 72 doesn't play that long, but it's very challenging. You don't want to find yourself in one of these bunkers or high grass. Clearly has a Scottish style bunker feel to it, and they can be very difficult, and several holes have water over them. The course also has forced carries, especially on the back tees. I enjoyed this one very much, but does it belong on this list at number 4, maybe even higher? Well, there's some great golf left, so let's take a look here at number 3. We got, of course, they got to book ahead. At Hominy Hills, which is rated a 4.5
out of about 180 reviews on Google, so that's pretty good. Is it a trashy course? We'll take a look.
Robert Trent Jones Senior Course.
It's hard to get a tee time on this municipal course. Park systems. Considered to be the crown jewel of the county courses, mainly because it was built by Robert Trent Jones. Hosted some major championships. We're going to talk about that. For the most part, you can see some of the historical buildings. They're still here today. Very old buildings. You're going to get even older trees here on this course. The course is located in Colts Neck and has the original clubhouse, which we walked through and got a little bit of footage.
The course almost felt like a private one because it was so hard to get in and book a tee time. As we get into the winter months, it's getting harder and harder. One thing that jumped out, there's a Wikipedia page for this historical course. The outside of it looks true to its nature, while the inside had multiple renovations.
And we're even going to talk about the systems needed in place to keep this course in such great shape. But those historical courses, they've really kind of drained themselves off the green. You can see anything just bounces right into the woods, you will lose it. And wind does play a factor, which separates bad golf from good golf. But look at that. Everything about this is unique and special.
Considered to be the #1 public golf course in New Jersey, considered to its website. This Robert Trent Jones designed classic stretches 7,049 yards from those blue tees. I recommend playing from that. Get your money's worth here. It's going to cost a $100 bill. It's well worth it if you can get the tee times. That's the biggest problem. It's packed. It's associated with multiple golf courses in this municipality. And I tell you what, this one is the best one out of all of them, hands down. I'm not going to take that away from you. Better have your Monmouth County ID card ready to book those good tee times in the morning, and you better book early. And there's multiple ranges of different IDs, and I don't want to get into all that and get lost, but $100 bill is going to cost. That's their website. Now, when you look at the scorecard, it's only 6,800 yards from those back tees. Back tees aren't really that impressive. I think they try to maintain the blue and the white tees consistently close together, at least on the weekends. We've noticed that. The course has a slope of 135 and a rating of 73.8. It's a USGA course, and there's a total of 138 bunkers on it. And I was even thinking to myself, I had way too many bunker shots, and that's because there's a multiple amounts scattered throughout the course. And there's water playing a factor on 4 of the 18th holes here. They do have a little bit of a driving range, not a big one. It's real tight, and it's mostly irons. You can't even see it on Google Maps. Wasn't sure if it was there or not. You know, everything about it is charming and fun. The check-in process and the starter was one of the nicest check-ins I've had in a long time. Felt like a private course. Driving range is classified as a warm-up range, which kind of makes sense. They got food, hot dogs, beers, everything you really need. A full stock grill and tap house. It also looks like a wonderful clubhouse inside there. I walked in there, washed your hands. It just is a nice place to be. This is the back nine, and I thought the back nine was better than the front nine. We did get paired up on the front nine, and that might have played a factor, but that clubhouse is fun looking. It's massive. It hosts many weddings and things of that nature, and you probably have been there for some sort of fun event. It also has a 1-mile walking trail that swings throughout this course. It's fun. It's exciting. I like everything about it. Is it the best Monmouth County course? Absolutely. Hands down. Is it the gem of public golf within South Jersey and the Central Jersey area? No. It's a nice golf course. It's fun. Robert Trent Jones builds a lot of good ones. Hanover is another great one that he's built, and I think it's comparison to that. We're going to give you a rating at the end of this, but we're going to talk about some of the nicer holes like this par 3 that I think if you got a hole in one there, maybe it would be a little bit higher on this score. And we've completed 150 golf reviews, and we're cleaning up everything that we do along the way. We're trying to give out the best golf content with educational purposes of the golf course. This one built Robert Trent Jones, and he's built a lot of them. We're going to dive in a little bit more on this golf course because it's originally one of the most exclusive private golf courses when it was first built in 1965. And the funder of this golf course, person given a lot of bit of money, Henry Dixon Myers. He built this course, and it was named pretty much the #1 private exclusive golf course in New Jersey. There wasn't cars swinging through it like we hear today. The Hominy Hill Farms, which was 411 acres in Colts Neck, was then converted, built in 1963 with famous golf architect who was commissioned to come in, Mr. Senior himself, Robert Trent Jones, who converted 180 acres of the farmland into a private 18-hole golf course, entertaining foreign business contacts. And Jones was known for designing and redesigning hundreds of challenging holes during his 7-decade career building golf course, and this was one of the more championship quality style courses when it was built as a par 72 stretching 7,121 yards. It's shrunk since then. The pro shop or the clubhouse is actually an old dairy barn that was converted by an architect, and you dare see it there today. Now the history just goes on and on about this course. I enjoyed it. It's the reason I kind of got into these type of golf reviews, is playing courses like that have such rich history but also affordable rates. Moving us now into Next course at number
Course
2.
with power lines going right through it. Outside of that, the course is in pretty great shape. You can see there's a major highway over here, but each one of these holes are pretty independently nice. Of course, you won't be able to find on Golf Now. There's no deals on Golf Now. And in general, it's kind of tough to book it. You gotta almost book the tee time without knowing the price is unique in itself. It does not have a liquor license, so if you come here, bring your own beers.
That won't take away from your golf experience here at Pebble Creek Golf Club, one of the most underrated family-owned golf courses in New Jersey. It stays true to its roots here at Pebble Creek. Now we're going to look at the inside of the clubhouse, see what it has to offer food-wise before we go out there and hit a range. But most importantly, we're going to look at some of the essential equipment needed to make a golf course to what it needs to be, to charge $150. You got the starter hut right there, but you have a memorial of the 9/11, which is awesome. So that's a great thing to see on a golf course, those little memorials. You see them more likely than not on those family-owned golf courses, but even Jaworski has a few memorials on his courses in South Jersey. Located in Monmouth, New Jersey, central, almost closer to New York City, the course stretches 6,325 yards, but it looks like it could go up to 6,400 yards. Some of those back tees I could see were pretty aggressive. The course is in great shape. I thought this was one of the more underrated golf courses for the best bang for your buck here in Jersey. It's a par 71 with a slope of 121 and a rating of 70. The course isn't that old, being built in 1996 during the big rush of golf courses being built. It was built by famous golf architect Hal Purdy. Now he's a legendary one. He's built all 18 holes here at Pebble Creek Golf Course. Now it could have been built in 1992, at least that's when it broke ground. I can't figure that out yet, but more likely than not, it's pointing to 1996 that this course was completed and opened. Now Purdy's put a lot of golf courses down on the map. He's got hundreds of them all throughout New Jersey, upstate New York. Some of the ones, I guess you could say, in the Toms River area that's jumping out. Ocean County, Frog Pond, that was one that was jumping out. Ocean Acres, we played that one before. And then Medford Lakes Country Club. That we haven't played. We're looking forward to maybe trying to get onto one, something like that. Fortunately, Mr. Purdy has passed away, but he's put together some great golf courses that we're still able to play. Some private, some public that we can view on this channel. Hopefully we'll get out some of these private ones. This course doesn't play long. I tell you what, they're playing up on them on Saturday and Sunday. You can tell that the tee boxes moved up to get pace of play a little bit faster. Turns into a whole nother course here. It plays true to more of a 6,000 on the dot yards, but the placement of the second shots seem to be pretty important here, because you can find yourself on those tree lines that are troubled. There's power lines throughout this golf course I've never seen before, and that does take away, at least in my opinion. I'm going to try not to ding it too much, but there was power lines. You would look up, you look down, there's power lines everywhere around here. That doesn't take away from it. It's still an incredibly well-designed golf course. It's unfortunate, but you know, it's still well maintained, and these family-owned courses, a lot of respect to them, because it takes a lot just to have one course, taking care of that one course and maintaining it. You look at these other courses that have multiple, a company owning multiple courses, and you have one superintendent taking care of all of them. Even though it's a big job for that person, they're still able to pull a lot of resources in. And we don't know if that's the case here, but being in the Colts Neck area with a lot of great golf courses in the area, you would think that there's probably a good amount of resources being thrown around. To walk the course on the weekend, I can confidently say it was around $50. This is the perfect price. It's just spot on. They did a great job with that. To find that information is hard. You know, you almost have to call, talk to them. I didn't know until I got there, and I try to get ahead of it as much as I can, just to give the person that I'm playing with a heads up, because typically they're riding, so we can get a price difference. And there really, with this course, there wasn't that price gouge that you typically see with courses when you walk them in comparison to ride them on a weekend. That was not the case here. They were fair to the price. Again, this was an incredible experience going out there. Hats off to the whole staff. As mentioned, they do not have a liquor license. They got a cart girl running around with waters, and if there's an event prior to that, potentially be alcohol and beer, or at least alcohol, a couple beers, that is complimentary. It's their way to give back to the members. And trying to get them in trouble or anything, because that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen on a golf course. It almost makes you feel like you were a local, you were coming through the town, and maybe like going back in time, and they're trying to bring you back, or you felt like a big shot, you know. It felt like, wow, this channel might be taking off, you know, but that's just everyone that plays there. That's why it's so important. But this is my opinionated list, and please write your opinions down below of the top golf courses that we might have missed. Or sit back, relax, and watch television or an episode.
And just in time for Shark Week, we're here at Shark River. Maybe 5-10 minutes outside the historical Shark Attack.
At Spring Lake, an employee of the Essex and Sussex Hotel was attacked by a shark. He died right there in the surf. 6 days later, and 10 miles inland, an 11-year-old boy was swimming with his friends when a shark fin broke the water surface, grabbing him and pulling him under.
The actual same place, the 1916 shark attack that started the movie and the whole craze where shark attacks happen, just in that Shark River area. There's a golf course here, and for Shark Week, we're here to play it.
And for Golf Vlog 127, we're headed to New Jersey in Neptune City, at a course that's been on our list. As we move closer into Shark Week, it's an absolute must. So we hit the throttle and checked into this historical landmark area and golf course as we look at Shark River Golf Club. Now, it's a par 71 with a slope of 130 from those blue tees. Now, we snuck in at the white tees on this as we walk in and take a look at the clubhouse. And at the end of the video, of course, we're going to rate the golf course and the overall experience here at one of the most unique courses during this time of the year. So let's dive on through number one here at a course you can really get after it, stretching 6,450 yards. And we'll be giving you a little bit of highlights throughout the round and just an overall fun experience out here, playing some fun golf.
And the deer goes across right in the shot. I didn't see the ball land. But
I was almost surprised to learn that the course was that old after doing a little bit of research afterwards. It's not highlighted all over the place that the course is over 100 years old, but I tell you what, something that maybe should be highlighted on this video, and that's what we're here to do. It's a fun course. You're not sure where the next shot might be on the tee, where you want to end up. The greens are putted as true as they could, and there's no excuse for bad putts here at Shark River Golf Club.
I'm on the left side of the car path. Oh, where are we going? Yeah, I believe it's dog leg right. Nice shot.
One of the biggest highlights here at this golf course would be their greens. They putted as true as greens could be. The fairways, the rough was thick, I'd be honest with you, on some of the holes. A little spotty here with some sun patches on the front nine, but you didn't see that much on the back nine. You can see this is a well elevated green here. The rough, you can't even put a camera in there. But again, these greens.
I'm gonna go the other way, Joey.
Okay, go ahead.
If I end up over there, we're not. See? You gotta bring it around.
Course was designed by Scottish golf architect Joseph Scotty Anson, and he put together a pretty walkable golf course, being over 6,000 yards from those back tees. I tell you what, not much of a difference between the white and the blue tees, which are the back tees. Almost want to recommend playing the back tees, but no big tee box changes here. But you can see spotty right off the bat. It's probably got a lot of sun. But as you get closer to the hole and the greens, you can see right off the bat they're taking very good care of that area. Now, tee boxes right off the bat aren't too bad. You can find yourself in some trouble.
Well, I was trying to not go left.
Into a tree.
I see a ball sitting out there on the left side. No, I hit through. Could it have bounced out that far from the tree? I didn't hit it that far. But it's all the way on the left side of the green, of the fairway.
Course has had a name change. Originally opened as Asbury Park Country Club, Now, I'm not sure of a lot of the history of it. We were hoping to find more, but outside of a big name change from Asbury Park to the Shark River, which also took place because the river changed at the same time the name because of the horrible shark attacks with two 11-year-olds that sharks came in about a mile inland right near the golf course and unfortunately killed these two young 12-year-olds. It was a horrifying story. But nonetheless, the course has had a lot of design changes as a result.
At some point, there was a redesign of this course.
A low budget redesign. Very low budget.
Course hosted the 1930 New Jersey Open, which was a big deal back then, right around the time it opened in 1922, so only a few years just opened. And I'll tell you what, the course gets real busy. It's got people trying to hit it right over your head. I've never seen stuff like this. True Jersey golf here, just outside the Jersey Shore, and it's a busy time of the year, so we were grateful just to get a tee time. Later on in the day, this footage was filmed, so it might not get the justification that we would like to have during a nice sunny day, but just getting out there, putting your feet on the ground and playing some of this course. The putting surfaces, again, were the big highlight, probably pushing the course even a little bit higher in the ratings. Each hole has a little bench and a little place you can clean your golf balls and stuff like that. All that plays a factor. In regards to booking the course online, they really got to go through the website. You can't book directly with the pro shop, which is I've never seen anything like that before. So you got to go through the push. You got to create a username. You got to remember your password. It's amazing there's this many people on here because of the process. I don't even want to sound ridiculous. 20-30 minutes, and then eventually, it wasn't me setting it up in the beginning, but I ended up just setting it up. You got to remember all these things, which is good if you play the course a lot, but you get a lot of play and you can hit right up on people the whole time, hitting good shots off of it.
I seen it going down the fairway. It was so far away, I didn't see it land.
My overall experience at the golf course was great. The lady checking us in, she runs a tight shift, and I like that about the starters here. But she does a great job ensuring you that you're going to have a wonderful golf experience. It feels like you're on vacation when you go play this course, and that's what it's all about. That's going to do it for our list. Keep a lookout for more videos to come. This is the Parfessor, an independent golf channel focused on fun, affordable golf in your area. If you're not watching, go play some golf today.